Hey there, it's Kelly Donahue Piro, your favorite industry best friend. Well, I'm here to let you know that you've done something great for your agency by joining and listening in on our podcast or watching our YouTube channel. I just want to remind everybody that we're here to help. So if you need anything, drop a comment, go to our website, hang out with our chat, or just contact us. There's a problem in your agency, I got solutions, right? I like to think of it, you got a problem, I'll solve it. But let's get into the content today so that you can improve your awareness and knowledge of solutions that exist to the agency's core challenges.
In the independent insurance space, being able to do remarketing is your superpower.
And I think that that's our mission as insurance professionals too, to make sure that our clients have the right coverage.
A lot of things that you do are new when you first start them, obviously, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be a challenge.
All right, so just the ladies here today. I feel like we're like Destiny's Child. I've been listening to a lot of Beyonce lately. I'm not gonna lie. Mainly because I can't deal with Taylor Swift. I respect the fact that she can make money, but that's like, and that she seems like a nice person. But her songs are just too like stuck in my head for me, and they're not angry enough.
I want a range.
Yeah. I want Beyonce back when she found out Jay-Z cheated on her, who cheats on Beyonce?
Wild.
Right? Like,
Bad choices.
Bad choices. Bad choices. But we're here to talk about how you can use renewal process to grow your agency. I talked about this in a podcast a few weeks ago. I get a little frustrated because I think we always think about renewal like, oh, that's a service thing. That's service. And sales is all sales and so much above service. I really look at it like they're equal. And I think they have to be equal because you can't outsell a bad retention problem. Kind of like you can't outwork out a bad diet. Like if your retention is really bad, the amount of energy and sales you have to do is so high, it's not profitable. So you have to kind of be both. But I figure we can kind of hammer down a few of our favorite tips today on how to use retention to grow. So Sarah, do you have a favorite one from our list that you like?
So I know in terms of renewal review processes, a lot of people get into this mind space of they'll ask if they want one. We'll just wait and see if they actually want one. And we're not going to do it proactively. We'll do it if we have to. But, they will let us know what they want. And I think a lot of in the independent insurance space, being able to do remarketing is your superpower. And some people genuinely don't know what an independent agency does. And so if we're not educating people and letting them know, hey, we have this many carriers and this is something that we can do if you're upset with your rates or if you don't like the carrier we're with, instead of you actually looking outside of our agency, we can still work with you and move you somewhere else. So I think it's really important to reach out ahead of time, whether it's 120 days or 60 days in advance for commercial lines and kind of let them know, hey, your renewal is coming up. Are you interested in actually going ahead and seeing if we can do a renewal review and go over your coverage and make sure that you have the right amount of coverage for your risk? I think it's really interesting because a lot of times with businesses, they're evolving, constantly evolving. They're meeting their clients' needs. And I think insurance kind of takes a back seat where it's like one of those things where it's like we pay for it, but we don't really think about it. And so it's really important that we educate them and let them know, hey, you had this amount of coverage, but you've made some changes and this may not be enough anymore. So let's look into your policy and see where we're at.
So Sarah, what you're saying is customers don't always tell you everything going on in their life?
A lot of times customers don't even know what coverages exist either. So it's like they can't even identify like, oh, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I mean. So I think it's also really important to be able to educate without all the insurance jargon, because when you tell somebody, hey, let's talk about EPLI, well, what is that? What does that mean? That's a lot of acronyms. I don't know.
Right. If you confuse, you lose, right? Like, so right. People are confused. They're not going to buy. They're not going to move forward. So I love that. And I think that that's our mission as insurance professionals too, to make sure that our clients have the right coverage. And I think some agents feel like, well, they should call us. It's their responsibility. And I'm like, great. But like, I don't call my accountant all the time and say, what about this? What about this? He would also want to punch me. So I feel like if that were to be the case, like people would be like, they call all the time. And I'm like, well, you just told them it's their responsibility. So give a retired person something to do. How about you, Gina? What would you say is a way you could use retention to grow an agency?
Having a strong plan with your renewal reviews, like Sarah was saying, is huge. We may have like our system set up to send an email out. Your policy is going to renew, but that's it. So we need to think about what are we going to do when we have these renewal calls, and think about it like this. If the customer you're talking to today hasn't talked to you in a year, they may have gotten married, they may have gotten divorced, they may have had a kid, they may have bought in a dog. There's a lot of things that could have happened that may be assigned to increase their coverages. So when we reach out to them, we want to look at what's going on in their life, what do they need more of, as well as identifying gaps in policies. When you're building the rapport and having these conversations, and you find out that on the weekend they like to go camping and take their boat out on the lake. Those are identifying two lines that we didn't have before. So always have a strong intent when you're going into these conversations about how it's going to best serve the customer and therefore better serve the agency with more growth.
Yeah, I love that. I also think we also forget that your renewal process can include a referral ask. So how many people always say like, oh, I forgot, I don't know how, it's awkward. Like, well, if I just completed a whole review, all I need to do is conclude the call with, if you know anyone that needs help with their insurance, please have them call me. I would love to talk to them. And that's just a nice way to say I'm open and I'm of service and I'm here to help. But I think so many times people get tripped up on the idea that selling is nothing more than education. I like to play this game sometimes with people because you can read a room when you're live, right? I started talking about sales to account manager and they're like, I know if you're listening to this, you don't understand, but I'm like bitter beer face, right? And I'll say, how about teaching people? I love teaching people. Like, same thing. So if I said burpees, what do you think?
Yeah.
I feel like Gina's like, yuck, sort of, but I kind of like them. But if I said ice cream, what do you think? But if I said ice cream before burpees, you kind of go, oh. Ice cream after burpees. Now no, I'll do that. I'll take that challenge. So I think we also have to identify that there is so much growth that can happen from your current book of business. And it's such an underutilized resource. I've often said when I speak, someday I think I'll buy an agency, right? I'll just go out and buy an agency and I'll like make it my test lab and I'll screw around in it all day and do things. But I said I probably would shut the agency down for new business for about a year to 2 years. And I would just dive deep on every account, clean them up, ask for referrals, then relaunch with like a brand new badass brand, like spiffy, cool, hip, young in the community. But work that current book to create raving fans first before trying to write more, like go deeper, not, wider. And some people always look at me like, what? I'm like, well, yeah, there's probably some like monoline motorcycle policies that have a home. Why would I spend any money marketing until I locked that down? And I also got rid of all the time vampire bust outs that I need to relocate to my competition so that they could spend their time on them. That would be my challenges. But I also think the biggest way is that we need to think about growth. If I reverse engineer this, ladies, is we can think about growth, but we also can't shrink. So inevitably, when somebody is doing renewal and you remarket them, you're shrinking the agency. Two things can be true at the same time. You're going to shrink more if you lose the client, but you're still shrinking. And I think we have to embrace it. Sometimes we'll do the math. You could be cutting your revenue by a third if you decrease the premium, then move them to a carrier with lesser commissions. So our scenario for growth also has to be thinking about being growth minded during that time frame of, hey, I did cut my employer's income here. I want to get a referral. I want to get a Google review. I'm going to bump up these coverages to make that a little bit less. And I don't know how everybody always thinks about that. I mean, I know, Gina, you had wonderful staff of insurance people. What's your message to them on this?
To honestly just get out of your own way. A lot of things that you do are new when you first start them, obviously, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be a challenge. And going into it and knowing that you're attaining your goal, like a lot of account managers, to help and service and guide, this is what it's all about. And just going into a customer that wants to cancel and not hearing them and not trying your absolute best and just remarketing them because it's easier isn't doing a service for anybody at the end of the day.
I like that. How about you, Sarah? Do you have any final words for anyone participating and listening right now?
I definitely believe that we need to stop being reactive and be more proactive. I think it's really important to kind of put the ball back in your court and have a value-driven system to help show our clients everything that we have to offer and that we do have their best interests in mind.
I love that. So everybody, your mission is not to be thinking about retention as service and, not a growth orientated. These renewal reviews are growth orientated, and especially if you join us in helping you, right? So we have our retention program, video training, small group training with my friend Sarah, get your renewal process going with Gina. Stephen and I can come out and share the wealth of knowledge we have on renewal reviews to encourage over 6 months the adaptation and installation of the processes. So if you are sitting here thinking, gosh, I love what they're saying, I want to grow from renewal, you just need to reach out. We're here for it. We want to help you. And whether that's just video training or something more significant, there is no reason why your agency can't do it based on the programs that we have today. So what are you waiting for? Bad song. We were playing music before this. Anyway, I'll let you guys go so that you can just stop, reach out, let us know how we can help. And we have one more podcast on retention, which is how do we define retention and strategies to minimize losses. So I will see you in our next podcast. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It is so fun giving you guys tips and tricks every single, week out there. Remember, you can find us on social media for updates. You can like or comment on this podcast or video, and we're here for you. And check out our website. There's a ton of tools. We have over 1,000 blogs on our website. We have over 1,000 videos on YouTube. You can search and find answers to your top questions. But also, if you need a little bit more help, you want a best friend that's there cheerleading for you, giving you the guidance that you need, and being there on some of those tough days, let us know. We'd love to meet your agency and learn if we're a good fit. All right, signing off. Go sell insurance.